Or
No. Why am I not seeing it?
okay, you guys are live now on YouTube.
What?
This is my job tonight, was to do the video stuff. So,
Oh. So
And you do a great job.
it's not hard. Of course, we spent an hour last night getting this all set up on my machine.
Well, that's the hard work you put in behind the scenes, so it looks really good when you come in and go, hey, it's working. No problem.
Oh.
well, it helps to look in the right folder. Oh, there's the treasure report. I was looking in the sent folder. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, is that going to be one of those nights?
So, I guess Jacob is supposed to run it, but I haven't seen him connect yet. Oh, wait, there he is. He's waiting. No, wait. I will let him in.
Aaron won't be here tonight.
Yeah, and Chris won't be here.
I'm here.
The other Chris.
Technically, aren't I the other Chris?
Yeah.
He was here first.
Vicky got my email, or did you just figure it out, Vicky?
Oh, no, I just got the email.
Okay. We all looked back in our past emails for it.
It gets lost.
Uh-huh.
Jacob was there, but then he disappeared. I admitted it.
So because you took her place, Jim, she's going to just keep going in front of you, right?
Yeah. I'm going to turn my camera off here in a minute, so you guys don't need to look at me. And I will just be watching the feed and waiting for questions.
All right. Well, before we get started, I'm going to go grab something to drink.
Okay. Let's wait.
Is it possible I don't see any area events?
What? No. It's not possible. This weekend there's a bunch. Saturday. Monte Cristo, Real Deal, Real Trash, and Deceptive Pass.
But in my area.
Deception Pass. No, nothing around here. Let's see, what about Sunday? I've got National Bingo Day. Cash and Camps.
Bingo. Oh, wait, I can't say that, can I?
Yeah. It's weird seeing everything delayed on the YouTube feed. So that's not going to be here. Chris is going to be here. Aaron's not going to be here. Ah, there he is. Let's let him in. Let's see if it's in this time. There he is.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry for the delay. I'm not sure who is in so far.
Okay. Well, Chris Umpenauer, and I'm sitting in for Chris because Chris
Oh,
is
okay.
going to be here. Vicky,
Yeah, and
from
I see Vicky's there.
and
I'm
Karen.
gonna try to get video going.
There you go.
Oh,
See that tribe, Jerry and Ingy. They're all here. We're streaming live on YouTube. I'm going to turn off my camera and mute myself, but I will be watching for questions on the feed. Somebody's watching it right now. I don't know who. And I'll interrupt.
I would think Lori's probably just going to be a minute or two because she sent out the email about the login credentials.
Lori's
Which-
there.
I'm here. I'm
she-
Seabeck Tribe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now
Camera was off because I ran and got a drink
There we
and
go.
ran and used the restroom.
I'm
Am I
trying,
there? But sorry.
I'm trying to get back into using this on my phone. So, are we waiting on anybody else?
I don't know.
Is Annette going to join us?
She's in Louisiana, down
Yeah,
south
Right.
someplace.
I was told that she wouldn't be available.
Okay.
And was anybody able to receive her report? I'm looking through my email and I don't see it anywhere.
I did find it.
Yes.
You did? Okay.
Chris, did you find it too?
I'm going to try bringing it up again.
Let me see.
Because Chris said he saw it too.
Yeah, I
did
saw it
find
earlier.
Where to
this
go?
week.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
saw it a while ago.
I'm
This
gonna
Oh,
is-
there it is.
I'm going to disappear. You guys have a nice meeting. I'll be around.
She sent it out on the
Treasurer's report, 7/13.
Yeah.
13th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just
That
found my email.
She sent
Yeah,
it today. It's dated the 13th.
Oh, thank you, Chris. I just got your email.
Did I do it right?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it.
It's my
Whatever
first
you did is
one,
perfect.
By the way, it's my first one. I've been here for almost a year now. Isn't that kind of sad?
Oh, there it is. I'm like, well, where is it? Look at the attachment, Lori.
Oh, I could have done it. It's very simple. I probably didn't need an attachment.
No. I love the upcoming events note. I'll leave that one for you to tell people. That's awesome.
I thought this was at 7:30, so I was going to go do it this evening after work, and it.
Oh,
snuck
that's
up.
funny.
So at this point, I don't believe we're waiting for anybody. So if we want to get started, does anybody know? I was told Mark would join, but that might be a little bit later. And if not, I should have most of the notes
Scary.
of what we've covered.
I know Erin is not going to be here. She asked me to be her proxy.
Okay. And I'm trying to find everybody else. Well, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order then. It is 7:09. And start with roll call. So standing in for Chris is that Jeff? Is that correct?
Jim.
So I'll put
It's
him as
Jim.
Jim.
Oh, Jim.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not a board member anymore, so I'm just a friend with Chris, and I monitor
I'm
things.
going to put that in. I'm here. Annette is absent. And then I saw Lori there after I was able to find her. And then can we go to the chapter reps? So I see Vicky here for Southwest.
Here.
Jerry for Inland Empire.
Here.
Karen, 48 North. I see she's
Here.
muted. Hi, Karen.
Hello.
Let me scroll over on my screen here. Oh, I do see. Chris, are you Puget Sound? I'm trying to remember which one you are.
You're correct.
Okay. So Chris is here. And I saw Gene as well for Cascadia. Is that right? I see him going back and forth between muting. So, but I did find him on the side here. Gene, are you able to join at all?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I just was able to hear you now. So I'll mark that as you being here. And so Aaron was the Olympic Peninsula, is that right?
Yes.
He's absent.
Yes.
Am I forgetting anybody?
Patrick's not here yet.
Okay. So I'll put him at the bottom of the list and we'll see if he joins in. And is it Lori that's monitoring the people coming in at the last minute?
No, Jim is.
Jim is. Okay. So the next thing on the agenda is approval of May's meeting minutes. And I have looked over them. Does anybody have any questions or any discussion on what was sent out? Seeing as there's no discussion, I'll open a vote to approve the May meeting minutes. All in favor? I'll just start going down the list here. Lori?
I approve.
Vicky?
Approved.
Jerry?
Approve.
Karen?
Approve.
Chris?
Approve.
Gene?
Abstain. I was absent.
And that'll be it. So it looks like they'll be approved. I'll mark everybody's vote on that.
Can I ask who seconded that motion? I didn't hear who seconded it.
Oh, I might not have got a second. Did anyone want to second that so that I can have it in the notes?
Jerry seconds it.
Okay, Jerry, thanks for that.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm very unfamiliar with this, as I think this is my third meeting. So just bear with me here while we try to get through this. I'll try to do my best to keep everything running on time and the way it's supposed to be done. So Lori, you have the treasurer's report pulled up from Annette?
I do.
Okay. Do you mind going over that? Because I'm still having trouble finding it and downloading it. And
Not
then
a problem.
I'll take any discussion after that.
All right. So the end of April, she had a bank balance of $20,177.13. Do we have share up on this, Jim?
I'm checking.
Am I able to share?
I'll look to
I'm
see.
checking. I'm not sure where it is. set.
Yeah, it says host needs to set it up. Okay. When that's done, I'll share. We had an income from membership of $396. Snake the Tag, apparel and merchandise sales of $178 with a subtotal of $20,751. I'm not giving the cents. Oh, there we go.
You can share.
So
on
you
the
guys
sheet.
can see. We had some expenses for the coin of roughly $3,000 there. Merchandise refund of $11.40. Postage, Valley Tour renewal for 2020 was $1,500. New bank balance of the end of June is $16,132.89. Minus the GeoTour or the Valley GeoTour funds leaves us with on hand $14,737.26. I'll let you guys read that part there. How she reconciled it also there. So that is all that I see on the sheet. Whoops. I cannot answer any questions.
I don't know what I would be able to answer as far as questions go, but is there anybody that does have any questions about the expenses?
We can jot them down and ask Nanette when we get a chance.
Okay. I'm looking through it. I don't have any questions at all. I'll open it up to discussion from anybody else. I don't see any discussion on it. So the one thing that was brought up, I know in the last month, was the approval for the 8 pins. And that was between Mark and Annette. I know that we voted on it at the last meeting and it was approved. It was an issue of making sure the invoice got sent out. I don't have the exact number for what was approved, but I believe it was right around $900. I'll just go ahead and bring that up as further meeting discussion. Is there any objection at this point to ordering the 8 pins?
I believe we all voted on that. I'm trying to find my notes. My meeting. Give me a moment. Where is it?
I did see the vote, and Chris did send that out again. I was just bringing that up because I know that was an email that we've got recently. So I think there were 3 people that abstained, and I might have been one of them. But I don't have any objection to it, and I know Mark has everything in line for that. So I'll pass that along that we have no objection from it. And is there any other discussion? So that's all that I can think of that goes along with Annette's treasure report. Is there anybody that has any other discussion about anything related to the treasure and things that I need to keep track of for Annette? Seeing as there's no discussion, we'll move on to the next part of the agenda. Let me pull it back up again. So I have the membership report here listed next. Lori, can you go over that?
I can. So in May, we had 5 signups. June, we had 7 signups. And in July, we had 9. We also, in May, we had 2 memberships expire. June, there were 7 memberships expired. And in July, as of today, 3 memberships have expired. And then as of this year, we have had 86 total signups for the year. For 2021.
So that's year to date. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Lori, the one question I did have with membership, and somebody will tell me here if I have the right person because I've talked to quite a few people. Karen, was it you that Vicky? Vicki, was it you that I talked to about possibly getting an email? Maybe it would be monthly about a membership report that'd be specific to each chapter.
Yeah, we've been asking for quite a while, different people, Chris, Jesse, just a bunch of people looking for like a member list, or just so that we can send out emails maybe when they join, just saying thank you for the re-up, and this is a reminder of what your contributions go toward, and then we can also put like upcoming events on it or whatever whenever they like renew or even expire, if we want to bother people when their stuff expires, or maybe just a reminder. But it would be nice to have a member list so we know who our members are in the chapter, anyway. Just it would be nice to know who they are and a way to contact them.
I will see what I can figure out for you. I just learned some new things in there today, so I imagine there's something more in there to give you, because I do assign everybody to a chapter. Even if they're out of state, I share the wealth and I just go around the chapters and go, you get in this one, this one, this one, this one, unless they're like along a border. If they're along a border, then I'll assign them to the closest chapter that they live by. But when they're further away, I just randomly select a chapter.
I just know that when we joined years ago, we didn't really get a lot of information when we first joined, and we had questioned some people in our chapter when we first did it. We didn't really get a response. It'd be nice to be able to send new members, especially a welcome, sort of more personal, tailored, just simple email or message. Thank you.
Let me pull up the letter that goes out with everybody's membership or tag that I send out. So give me a moment to pull that up.
And Lori, the one thing I was able to find, and I'll let all the chapter reps know this, is in our email, we get an email every time there's a new sign up as far as the checkout goes from the website, essentially our receipt of it. So what I did to try to help Vicki out as much as possible, I had those emails going back to March. So I searched those, and we do get an address with those. And the only one that I could find that was in her chapter since March as a new membership was one person in Vancouver. So that was my way of finding it, but I don't know what system that exists in.
Okay. So this is the letter I send out with everybody, and I've revamped it just a little bit. It tells who the board members are. It tells who the chapters and who's in charge with an email address to contact their chapter rep. Because I didn't have, we're just barely getting started with events when this was the last letter. I include the virtual events, and then I also include the dates for our WSGA boards, and where they can go find it. So if you guys see someone there that I should change, please tell me. I'd be more than glad to.
Can you update the spelling of my caching name?
Absolutely. Did I misspell it? I apologize.
It's okay. The I and the S. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
I just copied and pasted from earlier.
Lori, do you mind sending that? Do you mind sending that out at your earliest convenience to everybody that's at this meeting so that we can review that later on?
Oh, absolutely.
That's something I haven't seen myself as well.
Okay. So if there's anything else you guys want me to include in there, as a general, like, hey, this is what's going on, and then I will work on trying to find a list for you guys, and I believe there's a way to do it. Hopefully Jim might remember Jim might be able to help me with that.
Okay.
So,
Do you know what system the member checkout goes through? Does it just go simply through the store?
it's the same same website that we see the store merchandise and all of that on. It's in there.
So if that's the case, then I do have access to the store, and I should be able to find that as a report.
It's under membership. Yeah.
Yeah, so if I can do that as a membership report, I might be able to come up with some way to make a spreadsheet out of that and pass some of that information along. Since there's 86 of them year to date, unless there are chapter reps that have seen a lot of those, that might be something halfway through the year now that we can start doing as far as communication with those people.
Yeah, there's a report that I run to do tags that gives you all that information. And it's easy enough. I'm glad you said it that way. It's easy enough for me to take that Excel sheet and break it by chapter, and then also send them that information that way by chapter with the information. So thank you for that. I forgot about the report that I pull.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just now getting into the reports on the store just so that I make sure that the orders get sent out. So it sounds like that's the way that we get into that system. And if we have an updated list, it sounds like Lori's going to help everybody out by putting that where we have access to it. And then everybody that's a chapter rep might start seeing those people at events and have their information to know that they did sign up. So that sounds great. Are there any other questions or discussion about the membership report? Seeing none, we will move to the next agenda item, which is the chapter rep check-in. So I'm just going to start with the list that I wrote down, and the first person I have is Vicki. Vicki, do you want to go ahead and update us on your chapter?
We had a meet and greet in the park last month, and that was pretty good. We had our celebration of 20 years of Project APE in North Bonneville, which you attended. We had a lot of people come, a lot of families. It was a pretty nice day. There's a local geocacher is going to have a meet and greet in the middle of August, and then we're planning a CETO for the week after that. So quite a few events coming up. Just trying.
Yeah, and you said you ran into some issues with, was it a reviewer that had several extra questions about how to go about approving a CETO?
Yeah, I never had any problems with a CETO before, but last year they wanted a few extra questions. I don't know if it was the certain reviewer wanted extra questions, but they just wanted a lot more specific, like, who's picking up the trash, who you have permission, just a lot of extra questions I hadn't come across before. So I did get a hold of somebody in Clark County, and I have talked with her today. So it looks like as long as they don't have any problems, I should be able to get one going for August 21st. So.
Okay, that sounds great. And I've looked into that event too, and I hear people talking about wanting more of them. And I think it's a great idea, especially with some of the COVID restrictions, because it's not any kind of event that would have any problem with social distancing protocols. And I haven't seen too many of them where we would exceed the numbers that we're allowed to have for an event as well. So if anybody wants to start hosting them and we can see more of those across the state, I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, season 1 for getting the souvenir ends August 31st. So that's why we're hoping to get it in and get it published for the 21st. That way we can get some people the souvenir before the season's over.
Okay. Do you know roughly what number you had at the meet and greet?
It was, I think, like around 39. Oh, for the Louisville meet and greet or the Project 8?
It would be the Louisville, the first one you discussed.
You want the numbers for it, like how many people we had?
Was it about 20 to 30?
I would say probably more closer to 30 to 40.
Okay. And then North Bonneville, it seemed like to me was about the same.
With the families and stuff, yeah. It was
Okay.
getting, yeah, that's about where our turnouts have been for most of our events lately. So people are really looking forward to getting together, and we've been having them outdoors, and people seem, a couple people wear masks, some people don't, but they've all been outside with plenty of room to spread out. They've been in parks. Everybody feels comfortable, so it's been pretty good.
Okay.
I'm just that's about the number I'd say. You got the number? He's looking up the number.
Okay. I don't need a specific. I was just going to write in the notes generally what it was. And I would say North Bonneville was about the same for the
Yeah.
eighth event.
We had 35 attended on the first one.
35 attended on the first one.
Okay, perfect. And I did see that in Jerry's report that Jerry did have a specific number, and that was the reason I asked. Is in case we want to keep notes of that, I'll go ahead and put that in.
We had 41 at the 8, but there was a lot of kids and extra family members too, so it's a little bit more than that. But attended wise, 41 logs for that one. So.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. Is there any other information that you'd like to add?
No, I think that's cool. The CETO coming up, the other meet and greet. That's about it.
Okay. The next person I have on the list is Jerry, Inland Empire.
So we had our ape celebration event on Monday, Trailhead parking lot for that. We had 42 in attendance, and that's including families. I had to force Jacob to take a raffle ticket. We like to hand out raffle tickets for door prizes, and it serves two purposes. One, obviously giving away door prizes, but it gives us a count of how many people we had versus trying to guess or count people, and then they move around and your count's off. So our biggest event post-COVID. So it was nice to get quite a few cashers gathered for a meet and greet and good conversation. We had the honor of having a mountain bike there, so I made him come up front and give us a little oral history of the placement of the ape cache and what went into it. So we don't currently have any future events planned. I know one of our members checked out some of our normal indoor locations, and one of them we thought we were going to be able to get into. Due to staff shortages, their dining room is closed. So we seem to have a lot of that. And I'm sure I've seen it listed other places that a lot of the restaurants are closing their dining rooms because they don't have employees to keep them open. But have to come up with another event. Not sure what we're going to do next. We already had our CETO a couple of months ago for the souvenir, but we might have to have another one for anyone that missed that one so they can get the souvenir before the deadline.
So Jerry, did you have a season 1 CETO then? As Vicki was mentioning, it's coming to a close.
Yeah, we had one here a couple of months ago at Newman Lake.
Okay.
At the park there. So
I was trying to think if there was one for the chapter. I know I didn't attend it, but
yeah, that was a chapter event just because of the souvenir. But we can definitely do another one since they have such a long time period for the season 1.
Yeah. So the second season then, that should start in September, and then we'll be planning them again. I believe that's correct.
Yeah, it used to be just 2 weeks in the spring and 2 weeks in the fall that they had the CETO periods, but because of COVID, they made the first one, 5-6 months. So.
Okay. Is there any other news you have from the Inland Empire chapter?
Nothing that I can think of right offhand.
Okay. Yeah, that looked fitting with the report that I read from you. So looks like everything that I could keep notes on. Let's see. Next person is Karen, 48 North.
We had an ape event on Sunday. About 30 people showed. There were 30 logs. There were more than 30 people. We had some new cashers who started cashing during COVID, so it was nice to meet new people and see lots of other people. We had a giveaway. Watchdogs Mike donated a bunch of containers caching containers he makes, and it was only supposed to be for an hour, but it lasted 2 hours, and actually people were still there when I left after 2 hours. So it was fun.
And Karen, I did wonder, so you had your event on Sunday and you had contacted me. Had you found the coins at that point?
No, I found them after the event.
You did find them? Okay.
Yeah, they someone stole them from my mailbox, which I've never really had a problem with that. And we were headed to the event up on the pass, and Bill saw a box sitting on a mailbox down the street, and the neighbor said that he found them in the woods across the street from our house. So we have since now ordered a lockable mailbox that we'll be installing.
Okay.
But I have 26 coins. I don't know how many were sent to me. We went and looked to see if maybe some were lost in the woods, but we didn't see any. So,
do you know was the number even? Was it 13 of each version?
I think so. I can double check and let you know, but
okay, yeah, you can let me know later.
Yeah, I've sold a couple, but I know what I sold, so I'll let you know.
Okay, I'll check in with you later on that.
Okay.
Is there any other news you had?
No, I'm probably going to probably plan another event in August or September. I don't know. I'm trying to do it in each of my counties or areas, I should say. So I don't know when the next one will be, but soon-ish.
Okay. And did you have a CETO that was during the first season?
No.
Okay.
This is my first event that I've held as the ape.
Okay. Just getting back into things then.
Yeah. I probably will have a CETO in September. I'm not sure where yet, but yeah, I probably will.
Okay. Let's see, the next person that I have on the list is Chris from Puget Sound. Chris, I don't have your volume on.
Sorry, that was me.
Okay, I can hear you
Hello.
now.
So that was it. My report's done.
Riveting.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I worked on the presentation for a while. There were PowerPoint slides and everything.
Oh, wow.
Nothing really going on, but I've just posted the first event. So we're getting ready to go here. I did attend a CETO last weekend. It was not a WSGA one, but it was one to squeeze in the souvenir before we finish this and move on to the next season.
Okay. And Chris, I did have a question for you. And anybody else that still has the full box, let me know too, is if you received the swag box, we do have a couple orders still for one of the coins that was in there. Do I have anybody that hasn't broken into that? And if they haven't posted an event yet where they've done a giveaway?
I haven't broken into it yet. No. So
Okay.
which coin are you looking for?
It would be the 2019 VIP coin, the really large one.
Okay.
So
I don't remember if I have that one, but I can go check in just a moment here.
okay. It's not a rush. I'll leave that in my notes and I can just follow up with you individually then. And did everybody else start using that swag? Vicky, I know you had most of yours at the APE event. Is that correct for Karen and Jerry as well?
Yeah, I used some of the swag that I got at the event.
Okay. Okay, I'll look into that. I might have to work around some of that with the merchandise. But that was one thing that got sent out. Chris, the other question too that I had for you is, I know you didn't. Did you host an APE event in Puget Sound in your
I did not.
chapter?
I did not.
Are you going to be doing that?
I could do one in a couple of weeks, but I thought we were close enough to the APE event that it would conflict with people going there. So I wanted to focus on the main event rather than draw people away.
Okay. I only asked because there's no time crunch really on putting out the 8 coins, but that will be in your swag box.
Yep.
If you're able to use those and make an event around it to redeem them, that would be great. If not, just give us a heads up in a week or two if that's not the case, and we'll find another use for it. So.
Oh, I forgot to mention all my 8 tags have been redeemed.
Okay, and I know Vicky, all yours were, and Inland Empire, we used all of them. I talked to Patrick, and I know he had all of them put out. I don't know what his redemptions were like, but I would think that he's taking care of all of them at this point too. But getting back to Chris, is there anything else you would like to add?
Not at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Chris. The next person on the list, Gene in Cascadia.
We got an event scheduled for this Friday. That's the first one we've had since last year. Had a little problem that the person hosting this one wanted to have this event in the early part of July, and she submitted it, but Groundspeak would not authorize it until after the 30th of June, when the state would open. Then she couldn't. They said that she couldn't do it because of 2 weeks advance notice. So she had to, push it back to the 23rd. So she was upset over that deal, but that's all.
Okay, so that would have been the only event that would have taken place since the last meeting then.
Yeah, this is the first event we've had in over a year.
Okay, and that's going to be the upcoming Friday one.
Right.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of restrictions in place, so that that sounds like an issue that everybody's having, at least meeting some of those requirements. So the Friday event, are you going to be doing your 8 coins for Snag the Tag?
I haven't got any 8 coins, so I don't know.
Were there any in your swag box?
They might be. I haven't even opened it up yet.
Okay. If you want to check in with me then before the event, just let me know if that's the case, if those get used or not. And if you need any help, I did a lot of the ones in Spokane with help from Steve, and we can get those published for you if you want to include those in the event, or just give notice at the event and have people participate after that.
Okay.
So, and I know I did go around to a couple of the chapters with merchandise. Is that something you're interested in doing, Gene, in any of your upcoming events?
Put me in.
I went to 3 of the chapters and took the remaining merchandise that we had for our inventory, as well as the 8 coins. I know I won't get a chance to do that by Friday, but if you have an event in the following month, just give me a heads up, and we might be able to work that out, because it was very successful at all 3 of those events.
Yeah, I don't know of anything being planned at this time. So okay.
Okay. Is there anything else you need to add?
Can't think of anything, no.
Hi, Patrick.
Oh, did Patrick come in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was watching on YouTube there. Unfortunately, I was sitting there at the Zoom and it wasn't letting me in. So.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good we had somebody let you in.
Sorry.
So we received Gene's report. We don't have Aaron. So Patrick, if you're ready to start, we're doing chapter rep report.
I can do errands when you're done.
Oh, that's right. We have a proxy for Aaron. Okay.
No worries.
I'll let Patrick go first. Patrick, if you're ready to speak on your chapter news?
Sure. We actually had an event this last Saturday. Jacob, you were there in attendance, of course. I do appreciate you coming down with the mobile store there. That turned out great. I think we had 27 people in attendance. It was a really wonderful time to get everybody out there. First event we've had, obviously, since last year. So really good turnout. Everybody was happy with the event. Everybody loved the coins that we had out there for sale. Big hit, very popular, and I've had a few more people asking about them, so we've been trying to direct them out to the website to make the purchases for people with credit cards. Did have a couple coins left here on hand that we've been doing the cash purchases with, so everything's been going great as far as that's concerned. Did have some overlap with meetings tonight with Tri-Cities GeoCoin, so that is underway also. So we are holding that event coming up the first Saturday in September. So anybody who's interested in coming out for that event, that is still moving forward as long as none of the COVID rules change. So if something changes there, we obviously have to follow those guidelines, and depending on what those guidelines are, the event either continues or gets canceled. So the event, as far as that's going to be, is all going to be Adventure Labs. We are not doing traditional caches this year, so there will be 40 of the Adventure Labs, and they will only be up and published for 3 weeks. So if you want to come out, you have to make sure and plan your trip within 3 weeks of the start of that event.
Okay.
So, and that's all we've got going on.
I've been to that event myself, but I was wondering, has the WSGA ever had any involvement in that event?
Yes.
I know you guys have planning.
So normally WSGA holds the CITO with that event. So at the end of the event, WSGA sponsors the CITO, the cleanup. So we usually host the CITO. We provide donuts and breakfast items and stuff. We pay for that out of our member budget each year, and so that's something that we normally would take care of. Because they're not allowing us to do multiple events for that weekend, a CITO has not been planned this year for that event.
Okay. Is that something that we could do in preparation for that event if we did it the week before, so you wouldn't have an issue with multiple events in the same weekend?
That's actually a possibility, and I can reach out to the board. I'll drop an email to them tonight and see if they want to get something like that scheduled or planned. And then we're doing meetings every 2 weeks now up until the event. So basically we're holding one every Wednesday now through the event, or excuse me, every other Wednesday through the event. So we'll be meeting again in 2 weeks. But like I said, I will email them, and that way, if they do want to do something, we can get something scheduled through the event page right away.
Okay. Yeah, because Vicky brought that up with the CETO. If you guys haven't hosted one already, she was saying that the end of August is the end of the first season for the CETO. So if you're having your event the first weekend in September, and you did a preparation CETO the week before that, falling in August, you should be able to meet the requirements for that. And then you would be able to have one in the first season and second season of the year.
Okay. That's a good point.
And if that's anything that we can help you out with, I'm sure we could take care of that. Donuts or a small breakfast or something like that shouldn't be a problem. And even trash bags and other supplies could be something that we find.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else coming from your chapter?
No, that's it for now.
Okay. So the only one that I'll have left is, Lori, was that you that was going to be doing Aaron's report?
Yeah.
Okay.
Partially because I've been the one doing the events. So I had a meet and greet in Paulsbo. I don't remember the date. I'll have to go find that date, but it was after our last board meeting. That was a great turnout. We had quite a few people that turned out. And Aaron brought some stuff for us to raffle off, which was great. And I had a lot of stuff and I had quite a few people. I would say probably roughly 25 to 30 people showed up. And then I know Black and Hawkers has been hosting some events over here. He had one today that I totally forgot that I could have went to. And then he has one next week, also in the morning. And then I'm holding a evening meet and greet in Paulsbo where we're gonna just get together. We're gonna hold the WSGA live chat. I'm gonna have the computer up for that and kind of do a live stream from the park. And then afterwards, a couple of us are going to go out for the multi night cache in Paulsbo done by Goblin Dust afterwards. So, and do some caches and labs around Paulsbo. And then she said she was looking at possibly doing a CETO in Squim, but I don't have any more information on dates or times for that.
Okay. That's everything from all the chapters. Did I miss anybody? I think that covers every chapter. If there's no further discussion from one chapter to the other, I'll go ahead and get on to our next agenda item, which is the outreach report. Did we receive that from Annette? Lori, did you happen to see anything from her?
Not for outreach.
Okay. Are there any chapters that have any recent work with outreach or have anything to pass along to Annette that we can leave in the minutes? Okay, seeing as there's none and we don't have the report, I'll move on past that. The merchandise member coin update is next. And I think I saw Mark came into the meeting. Mark, you're there?
Yep.
Okay, do you want to start that off?
Okay, so I did a APE event. Sorry to steal your thunder, Chris, for putting it up in, at the APE Pass. We had close to probably 90 people there, including 15 lackeys, of which 13 of those lackeys I'd never met before. So we sold out all of our coins. We had 75 coins to sell, and we sold all of them. Generated $1,875. So I will be giving that to Annette when she gets back. I already deposited it in the bank, so it's all mine. But anyway, I'll give her a check. I don't like having cash on hand. The other thing we did with these coins, which I'm not sure everybody knew about, and so everybody should know about this, is we have this version here, which is the copper version. And what we're calling them is the Friends of WSGA Token of Gratitude coin. And so the idea of those is people who are heavily involved with the WSGA get that as a gift this year. So we have 50 of them made. I'm having coffee with Brian, the founder of geocaching, next week, so I'll give him one. And I gave one to a couple of the lackeys, and I've mailed them out to past presidents, past APE managers, and all that kind of stuff. And everybody who I'm looking at right now is also going to be getting one of these from Jacob. So, right, Jacob?
That's correct. And both Patrick and Vicky have received their copies. I was going to get one to Jerry. I think Jerry left the event that we had while I was talking to everybody else. So, Jerry, if you're listening in, I still do have that copper coin for you. And the next time I meet up with you, I'll make sure I have that for you. The additional ones that I took care of were mountain bike. John Stanley was at the event, as well as I believe Marty, the lackey, is in merchandising. And so Marty got one as well. And the other person that we had a question about was Jim Spearman, is one of the reviewers. Was that Ice and Wind that you wanted a coin to go to, Mark?
Yeah, these are just basically tokens of gratitude. You're doing, you're contributing, you're celebrating geocaching, and you're helping out with geocaching. So I've sent one to Barking Frogs and to, I guess it's called Prime Pandora. I don't know what her reviewer name is or whatever else. And as I said, all the past WSGA presidents and things like that, and then all the current chapter reps, and that will get one of those coins. So we have about, I think, in total about 200 left on the website. So I would just say to if somebody said, "Oh, well, where can I get one of those coins?" Just point them to the website. They're up there now. I just looked and saw that. The new thing that I wanted to talk about, so we're going to be ordering 8 pins. We have those coming. There'll be something for the store. It's just another 8 themed thing, and I think we're good with 8 for now. I have posted in the chat. I worked on some artwork today. I didn't work on it very long. This is just a jumping off point kind of thing. But if you guys double click on those, you can sort of see an idea of a WSGA 20 years with the evergreen state, even though half the state's probably not evergreen, but you have evergreens over on the other side of the state. And so the idea of having evergreens, and then harking back to our origins, I came up with "We have strong roots" as a sort of tagline for that. So feel free to criticize, give feedback, make me cry, whatever you think. Was thinking of doing some kind of coin with that, thinking of doing a tag, thinking of doing maybe a patch. Any other ideas that you guys have? Definitely doing t-shirts. So these ones would probably be the colored ones on t-shirts. I did a burgundy there, a dark blue and stuff. But just a sort of design that we have some stuff in the store for our 20th anniversary next year. And that's
Okay.
that.
Mark, did you get a chance to check the website for those coin versions? I know that was my first chance to put something like that on there. Were there any issues with those?
Not that I know of. It was great.
Okay. So if you haven't looked at the store yet and you're getting any questions from your members, let them know that 3 coin versions from the WSGA are for sale. The events that I went to, they're the same 3 that I had at all of those events. They are listed by version number, and each of the photos will show the colors that are specific to them. And if you look at the inventory is updated as of last night. So those are the numbers that are available.
Hey, Jacob, there's two duplicates. It's the purple and blue version. There's 2 of those different ones listed.
That's correct. That's one of those is the one that Mark got on the website ahead of time going into the weekend. So that's the general merchandise one. And the other 3 were ones that I put on there last night. And I don't know if I had a chance to talk to you, Mark, but the one that you put on there ended up being a good workaround too for the events for people that wanted to use a credit card, is they logged into the website, purchased that, and as they were showing me the receipt with the order number, I crossed out each order number as delivered. And then we did have, Chris found something where you can use a code that says no ship for no shipping charge and event pickup. So we will be able to do that going forward at events, is if there's any event merchandise and people want to use a credit card, that will be one way that we can do it. But anyway, Mark, that worked really well. Do I need to keep the 3 versions that I put on there with the correct inventory? And then
I just deleted the other one. The other one's not necessary anymore. Thanks for bringing that up, Vicky. So that one's now been deleted. So there's no confusion. I mean, there probably wouldn't be that much confusion. Well, okay, people confuse everything, but yes, sure. So those are deleted now, so we're good.
Okay. And I have a couple notes there too. I think if anybody's having questions about merchandise on the website, let them know. I have, looks like about 25 orders that are outstanding. Right now, all but 4 of those are coins that are recent as of last Friday. So I'll be working on those this week. If anybody asks you where the merchandise is, how it's going out, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions on coins, direct all of that to the store email address, and I can answer those questions. But right now we're in processing for, that's the last 6 days now. And there should be a batch of those sent out. I already emailed one person about that, about the delay. I should have them all sent out as one batch, hopefully by the end of the week.
Jacob, is that the coin you were looking for?
Yes, Chris, that's the coin I was looking for.
I've got one.
You got just one in your swag box?
Just one.
Okay. I might make arrangements to get that from you so that I can fulfill an order. I think I have orders for 2 of them, but I'll just list it in some way as a back order right now or send an email to those people, and then we'll find a way to get it sent to them later on. I think there might be a couple others loading, and I might even have a second order for a second one, but I thought I'd ask that question too.
I have one.
Oh, and I do have a small one that goes inside.
The small inside one. Okay, and it's possible that Gene has one as well. And I can follow up on that later. But now knowing that's the case, that'll give me a place to look for that. So Mark gave his report on merchandise for the event in Hyatt. I have a small report for mine as well. I went to 3 events. I went to South Central, Southwest, and Inland Empire. My total for merchandise and coin sales between the 3 was just short of $1,100. So we did pretty well between those 3 events. If that's something we can do in the future, you guys can let me know at any time. And if I can make arrangements to ship what you need or attend the event itself, we can continue to do that, because it seems like over this last week, that's been something that went really well. And there were people that were very interested in that. And I ended up getting a lot of feedback on future merchandise that we can add to the store as well. That covers everything as far as I can tell for merchandise. Mark, I think you joined late. At the very beginning of the meeting, we went over the 8-pin invoice, and there was no question about the vote that we had, and I was able to see that. So that's something that is approved, and it's just a matter of getting that from the net. So I think your total amount was about $900 on that.
Something like that.
That we were needing to approve. So that won't
500 pins. So we can have a whole bunch of different pins, and then maybe we can shelve some of the ape stuff for a little while, and focus on some of the WSGA stuff.
Okay. That works. I don't think there's anything else for merchandise. So let me pull up the rest of the agenda here again. The old business that I have listed was the 8/20th anniversary Snag the Tag. Mark, do you have an update on that?
Basically, I think the chapter reps who put out their ones, it went well. People were excited about that kind of stuff, is the feedback we got from that. I believe there are a couple of chapter reps that we can probably extend the game and see what happens with them putting them out. So Jacob, if you can speak to people and just sort of see what they want to do with it. To me, the coins are kind of, they're activated by a Snag the Tag geocaching account. So they're activated. So just giving them to people, they're not going to get the adoptions over and stuff. So it would be more beneficial to have them go through the game, because then we can automatically tell them the redemption is here, email this account, and then you'll get your adoption, and now you own the coin. So I believe that was Aaron, Chris, and Eugene. Whatever they want to do with that. It doesn't have to be a decision right now. But other than that, it went pretty well. I know, Jacob, we were discussing doing some kind of other snack to tag thing, and you had said, oh, does it have to be ape? And I said, absolutely not. I'm tired of ape. But definitely whatever, brainstorming or whatever comes up. I think the big thing actually is not snag to tag, is probably what is WSGA going to be doing for its 20th anniversary, throughout the year, all that kind of cool stuff. And it may sound too early to think about that, but we're already 7/12 through the year. So.
Okay.
With that, I'm actually going to sign off. I have another appointment I have to go to, but if you have any other questions for me, just don't hesitate to email me.
Okay. Thanks for the report, Mark. Glad we got all of that up to date, and I'll have notes for that going out as well. So let me see the rest of the old business. So we had an email vote about the 2022 WSGA anniversary. Mark touched on that. If we have any further details about that, I believe we would just send an email out later. Is there any discussion about that?
What's the actual question?
So I just have it in the agenda that we had an email vote about the 2022 WSGA anniversary. In that email vote, the lab caches were approved. I believe a geocoin was approved for it. And anybody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Is there anything additional that we had in that email vote? Okay, so yeah, I think that might be all. That was the only thing that I can see on here for the old business that pertains to that. There's no other notes about it. There's no discussion about that. That clears up. Looks like all of the old business that I can see on the agenda. Is there anybody else that has any notes as far as old business goes? Okay, I'm not seeing anything there. The one thing that I would add that I wanted to get some feedback on was a possible 20-year celebration. I don't know if they've occurred on the west side of the state. I don't think we've had one over here. I believe they were awarded to individual cashers. Is anybody aware of any of those occurring so far in Washington State?
Say that again. Looking for what? Community celebrations?
Yeah, so the 20-year community celebration.
Oh, 20-year. I know Wenatchee has a community celebration happening on Friday.
Oh, okay. So that's the event that Jean mentioned.
Okay, is that the one Jean mentioned? Okay.
You're talking about the community celebration events that were awarded?
Yeah, the community.
Okay, because we have one, but we don't know what we're going to do with it yet.
Okay. Yeah, and there's one in the Inland Empire chapter as well. That's why I asked. And if we can at least get that in the notes, we can further discuss that, because I think they get used by the end of the calendar year.
They were extended out through end of next year.
Oh, they're going to be the end of next year then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be the end of 22.
Right.
That's what I thought too.
Okay.
We have several people here who have them that have been pending, but they had different requirements. When you go through and actually put one of those events out, they require a minimum amount of time, and it has to be like 2 or 3 hours. And so
2 hours.
they're expected to draw a larger number of people for a community event. And because of that and the COVID restrictions, they weren't letting people actually publish them. And so they got held off much longer as far as publishing the events than regular events. And that's probably why the other people had issues getting theirs published, just because, of the type of event that it was. And so now they're in the stage that we're at right now, they're actually letting you put them out because of the 50 people minimum requirement for the COVID guidelines.
Okay. That's something that I'd like to discuss in the future. I just wanted to get the notes on here if anybody had input about it, because whether we coordinate that as an association statewide, or we have certain locations where they're hosted and then some kind of support from the WSGA, that might be something that we start discussing now. If we've got, that would be about 18 months to do those events, whether there's a lineup of them, whoever uses them, and if there's any WSGA involvement. So I'll get that in the notes that we discussed that as well. Is there any further discussion about the community celebration? Okay, and I know there was no other old business. I'm not seeing anything left in the agenda. Lori, do you know, am I missing anything at all?
Let me look at the agenda. I mean, while you're looking at the agenda,
Yeah, that's all I'm seeing.
just questions from the YouTube people, if there's anybody.
Okay, and is Jim handling that? Jim, are there any questions from YouTube?
No, there was one comment from Patrick before I noticed that he wanted in, but all of his were in. But that's the only thing I've seen on YouTube.
Okay, there was one thing from Patrick, but that's all we had. Okay. Well, without any further business, I'll go ahead and close the meeting. And I'll get the notes sent on to Chris. And I guess just have a good night. Thanks for following along with me and letting me try to handle the meeting as best as I could here. And I look forward to talking to all of you guys later. So I guess we have Jim close the meeting then, because he's on the account for us.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
See you
everyone.
guys later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.